So as always, I would like to begin with the basic understanding of the whole view, the whole journey of spirituality here in this particular path known as the path of Buddhism. Can you hear me? There? Yes? Okay. So, it is clear that the teachings of the Buddha is basically a way of working with our mind, fundamentally learning how to understand our mind and its nature and how we can work with it and how we can work with its different manifestations. And so basic Buddhist approach to this fundamental question is approached through the two truths, the absolute truth and the relative truth. Mind, what is mind? From the absolute point of view, is that our mind is a basic state of wakefulness. It's in the state of a basic wakefulness. It's in the state of a basic awareness. It's in the state of a complete purity in its essence, in the absolute or ultimate reality. And that nature of a wakeful mind is nothing different from the mind of all the Buddhas. The wisdom of enlightenment is nothing different from this basic state of our mind, the basic nature of our consciousness. And so therefore, from the ultimate point of view, then Buddha said our mind is in the nature of a complete enlightenment right from the beginning. That's the absolute nature of a mind. And that absolute nature of a mind goes beyond all our conceptual, dualistic understanding of mind. It is the genuine essence, which is in the essence of completely pure and genuinely awake nature. And this is sometimes in Buddhist teachings called emptiness. This nature of mind is called emptiness. Why? Because it is empty of duality, empty of ego, self-centered view. It's empty of relative confusion. Such things do not exist in this nature, therefore it is called emptiness. Its basic state is fundamentally free from all conceptual clinging. That's the first nature of a mind. And then the second aspect of mind, the approaching our mind, is from the relative truth, the second truth. Relative or conventional truth. And so from the point of view of a relative or conventional truth, then mind manifests, appears as duality, right? There's a subject, there's an object, there's the action. All these experiences of mind within the realm, range of duality is a relative experience. Within that dualistic experience, then we go through such experiences as ego clinging, self-clinging, self-centricity, right? There's a sense of a reference point as being I or me, the self. Because of this, then we automatically, naturally project something called others, right? If there's a self, then there's others. Like, for example, when you have this side of a river bank, when you say this side of the river, that means naturally it's showing there's the other side. Likewise, when we cling on to oneself as I, or when we cling on to something as other, then that naturally implies the other side of duality. So it doesn't matter where you fixate, whether it's a self or other, whether it's a self of a person or whether it's a self of a phenomena. When you fixate on one particular self, then that projects the other element of duality, right? It's actually it's like a quark, isn't it? Those, what you call that quark, when you separate, it's like stretching, they say, right? So when you try to separate these elements within the quark, what do you call that? It's up and down or something it's called. And they say when you finally separate, then it produces another one, third one, or something like that. So there's always this sense of duality projecting, coming out of this clinging onto self, fixating on. From there, then we experience emotions, disturbing emotions, right? When there's a self and others, then relating with these dualistic phenomena, then we get naturally into the game of emotions, disturbing emotions, towards something called a pleasant object. We feel attachment, clinging. Towards something called unpleasant object, then we feel aversion. Towards something called neutral objects, then we feel numb. No, just kidding. Then we feel neutral. And so, therefore, from duality, then we get engaged into these objects, subject-object relationship. Then from there, then we experience so much suffering arising from that. From the whole process of duality, we experience so much suffering, so much pain from these emotions, disturbing emotions, from ego clinging. And so therefore, the relative aspect of mind and its experience goes through this experience of duality, the relative mind. And so therefore, Buddha's teaching, the complete cycle of Buddha's teaching shows nothing but how to work with these two aspects of our mind, how to work with this mind, how to discover this ultimate mind, which we don't see it in our ordinary mundane mind. We try to discover that, try to see, yes, this is the ultimate nature of mind. Try to see the absolute reality of mind, which is actually discovering and beginning to know our own mind. What is our own mind? What is its real nature, the essence? And the second aspect of this path is how to work with these disturbing emotions, how to work with our ego clinging, how to work with the whole duality, and how we can transform it, how we can go beyond this duality. That's what this is all about, the path of Buddhism.